Well, my name is Javon Butler, part of Team Blue Falcon. I just went to the Denver Regional Saturday, April 2nd, and placed eighth out of 211 duelists with Brave Token, Souls, Striker, DPE. It's just a combination of all pretty much the best engines in the game right now, and with Striker as the base. So without further ado, I'm just going to go ahead and start off with the main deck first. So for the normals, we have 3 Ray. Um, that will never change. We have double rows. Now, a lot of people do stray away from 2 rows and they play one, or they're just crazy and they max out at 3. But I think 2 is the middle ground. I did have it at 1 for a bit, and I just wasn't seeing enough of the striker engine, any of my normal summons. So I just bumped this up to 2. Uh, Rhoda, Hornet drones, engage. So that all in all, that's what, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 normal summons. And I'm playing a list of 43. So 8 and 43, you'll see your normal summons a lot. So didn't want to play anything less, didn't want to play any more. I think this was a perfect ratio. Next, the best spells for Striker, Triple Widow Anchor. The only matchup that this was just like completely horrible in that I sided out was Eldritch, like the pure Eldritch trap deck. But other than that, it's been performing well all event. Nothing to say about Triple Widow. Never run less than 3. So for the utility striker spells, we got 1 Area 0, 1 multi-roll, 1 burner, and then 1 shark cannon. Um, so a lot of the times I was siding this shark cannon out against matchups where it just made absolutely no sense. Um, I was siding it out against Brave Prank Kids a lot. And that's honestly my worst matchup with this deck. And you just need cards to help deal with their end board a whole lot better. So I think 1 shark cannon is fine. You could opt to play more than 1 burner, but I think these are just the utility cards. I hated these all day today, and it was just I sided these out a lot. I never got to a point in a grind game where I would actually need to resolve multi-rolls effect. I just looped through Kagari. And then Area 0. The only time Area 0 ever came up was when I was in a position where I had DPE on board, and then I just hard drew into Area 0, and then I activated Area 0, and then Battle Phase, DPE shenanigans. So just to summon the Ray from the deck. But other than that, a lot of the times I ended up cutting these. These just feel bad with the striker count being so low. And then we go into our first sub-engine of the deck, which is the Brave engine. So I'm playing 2 Enchantress, 3 right. Honestly, since this is striker, at the core base of everything, you want the spells more than you do the monsters. And if you notice, I'm not playing the Griffin Rider. Um, a lot of people ogred my Griffin Rider during the event, and or not my Griffin Rider, my Faithful Adventure during the event, and which was okay for me because that's an extra spell engrave. And just the thought of the Brave engine, a lot of people were afraid of the Griffin Rider, so they wouldn't let me get to it anyway, even though I didn't run it. And that would also make them hand trap places where they normally wouldn't hand trap because they automatically assume that I had the Griffin, and then obviously the 2 bricks. A lot of the times the adventure engine was just activating Fateful and then using the token to get to a Link Spider, and from there go into Verte, which makes Right or Enchantress a 1 card Verte, which is pretty nice. And then the other engine that I use at the event was the Magician's Souls engine. this engine was cracked the entire event. There are some times going second where I would side it out, um, especially against matchups like Flunderies. I would side this out. But the ability to see any of these four cards along with your Brave engine is a draw two plus a link two, which um, you can end up going into Dark the Dark Charmer with Souls and the Adventure token. Um, there are so many different applications that you can do with this. I don't think I would play a list without it. I liked it the whole entire event. And then the other sub engine, obviously, your Fusion Destiny package for DPE. You're playing a control deck slash mid range deck, and you need to be able to take advantage of all of your 2-for-1s or and have that grind in a simplified game state. So um, you'll always be playing this as long as it's legal. For the hand traps, I'm on Triple Ogre. I think it's the best hand trap in the format right now. It has applications against every single deck. Um, there was one time where I was playing Flunderies and um, I ended up ogreing a Apex Avian, which was really nice because I ended up flipping There Can Be Only One, and he had the Apex Avian negate, and I just ogred, and that made that Apex Avian resolve without effect, which was nice, and then Tikaboo just solved that matchup. The other hand traps, Triple Ash Blossom, generic, hits every deck in the format, same way. And then also I am on Triple Impermanence. And then the honorary hand trap, the one called by. So I opted to play 9 hand traps plus the call by, so 10 kind of utility going second cards or hand traps. Um, I think that was a perfect number. I was in 43, and the last 3 cards that I had in the main deck were triple. There Can Be Only One, which ended up bumping my list up to 43. But this was a win button all day. Flip it up against, you can flip it up against your base decks. They kind of fold there. They can't do the Hout combo. If you flip it up against Sword Soul, same thing. They can't attempt to go into another worm. So against Sword Soul, the guy special summoned Vishuda. I flipped Tisaboo, and it kind of just ended the game there. And I just kind of had to play at my own pace. I don't think I would ever cut this from the main deck. It's just too powerful.
Yeah, I mean Tikaboo, best card and best floodgate in the format for sure.
Oh yeah, it is solid. If you can play it, obviously I would run it. So going on to the extra deck, triple Kagari, staple. Triple Shizuku. I don't think I'd ever play this at anything other than 3. Um, double Hayate. You only really need 2. Your striker count is pretty low. Um, so dumping stuff like Rose or dumping Ray if you don't have access to it, or dumping those things that you'll add back with Kagari. Uh, I don't think you'll ever be in a situation where a third one would come up. And if a third one would come up, then you're already probably losing anyway. The one kinda, I almost didn't play this card. I had this at Celine um, for easy steps to access code whenever I was playing Veiler in my build, but I opted to drop the Veiler and then put Kaina back in because Kaina stops you from dying. You're playing a control deck where a lot of the decks in the format are super explosive and can OTK at the drop of a dime, so you kind of need that to save yourself. And also, kind of has a down arrow. There's a lot of times where I went into Kaina and I had like the Souls and the Brave token engine going, and I made a Kaina and then I made a Verte underneath Kaina, and then that way I can turn the Kaina into a Shizuku and resolve the Verte, summon the DPE, and then in face Shizuku search. and then also DPE pop itself and the Verte. That way you get multiple engines rolling, and you're snowballing so much where your opponent really isn't going to be um, in the game at that point. The only time where when I did that and it backfired against me was game one in round 7 against the winner Dennis of the event. He nibbed me game one going into end phase. In a main, nibbed me. I DPE effect, and then he impermed my DPE, and I just lost everything. But he probably wasn't expecting me to play into the nib, playing striker, but I ended up doing it. But the one Zeke, and that's the striker lineup. Zeke came up a lot. And then we got the DPE package. So Link Spider, a lot of the time you're going into Link Spider with the Brave token. That's really what you're using it for. Or if you get nibbed, you can turn that into the Link Spider in order to clear up your main monster zones and then just go from there. Never cut this, it's self-explanatory. And then the Dark Charmer and then the access code. Dark Charmer, it came up a lot in instances where I would just Shark Cannon steal their stuff or Widow Snatch Steal, turn their DPE into a Dark Charmer back that DPE. That way that I can just keep it forever and then just constantly start popping other stuff and holding their DPE hostage. And then access code. I actually don't ever think I made this the entire event. I don't think it ever came up because I was OTKing without even going into access code talker, which was kind of funny. But the Brave token stuff adds a lot of OTK potential.
Is there anything from the extract that you would actually drop after seeing how the format played out?
Not really. I think it was perfect. In instances where access code would have come up, or those instances where playing multiple Shark Cannons would be viable. But right now in this current format, I don't think that Shark Cannon is really that good. That's why I have it at 1. But other than that, I wasn't really playing a lot of link-based strategies. So stealing like their high link rating link monsters wasn't really a thing during the format or during the event. So I think I keep it like it is, and then just test from there.
Cool,
Going
cool.
into the side deck, I opted to play triple Dark Ruler and triple Talents as like my going second against combo decks. Talents was super useful during like the entire event. Everybody's playing 12 to 15 hand traps, and actually going second and breaking boards was super easy. Dark Ruler, I sided it in a lot. I just never saw it. I think I saw it one time during the entire event, and at that point, I think it was against Flunderies. I ended up baiting an evenly match when I didn't have it, and my opponent ended up shotgunning the trap, the Dreaming Town, and then summoning Apex Avian fearing the evenly match. And then I just Dark Rulered his board, and then triple Tactics Talent to draw 2. And I was able to solidify the game from there, drawing into Ogre, and then there can be only one, and just solidifying that match. Triple Evenly, and then triple Cosmic for the back row decks, especially like stuff like Elwitch or all the decks that are playing like a lot of floodgates that Striker can't handle. These are good. I never really saw Evenly. I saw Cosmic a lot, which was nice, but they kind of counter-sided me with Artifact Lancia, fearing that I would side in the Evenlings, but I don't know what I would take out for the Evenlings. It was just a last-minute decision. Those were Lightning Storms at one point, but I just have to do some more testing. And then the last 3 cards in the side deck were triple Ghost Belt. My worst matchup is obviously the Brave Prank Kid deck. That would just take out like there can be only one side in the bells, and then kind of just play from there. But yep, that's the side, and that's the list, man.
Yeah, man. That Pile Kid deck is literally insane.
Oh, it's
I've never seen a deck play
ridiculous.
through like four interruptions and then put up four negates plus extenders on your turn.
So it was kind of crazy because round seven, that was XO1, and I played against Dennis, who ended up winning the event. And game two, I opened up Ogre, Ash, and Bell against Brave Prank Kids. And you would think opening up Ogre, Ash, and Bell would be great. And he still went full combo underneath all of those hand traps, which
Yeah,
just blew my mind.
yeah. I'm telling you, the Pile Kids, man, they don't care anymore about hand traps. Pranks went from caring so much about Ghost Bell, any form of disruption, to I don't give a fuck what deck you're playing. I'm playing through whatever I want, and then still having card advantage. So their card economy is literally insane. But I appreciate you dropping the list on me, bro.
Let's go,
Let's
man.
go. Top 8, Blue Falcon. Let's go.
Appreciate you inviting me to the channel, man.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. And check out more of this spicy ass list.